Hey, do you have a job? Well, if you never want to worry about losing it again, check out this video and learn my 4 points on how franchising can help. Recessionary worries are a real thing right now, with the Dow being up and down and coming off the heels of millions of Americans losing their jobs over the last few years. It's normal to have concerns about your investments, but more importantly, about your job. By following the steps in this video, you'll never have to worry about losing your job again. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank says, "A salary is the drug an employer gives you to forget your dreams." Wow. I agree, but I think there is a cheat code for how you can have both your dreams and your salary. I'll start by telling you about 2 of my friends. Each lost their jobs due to the recession. Truth be told, I think their employers used a potential recession as an excuse to let them go because they were very high earners. My first friend was someone who kept his job as a nice to have. He was being paid really well, so he was willing to trade his time for money. But he was hedging against his job because he was in a partnership on the side with a health service franchise. Prior to losing his job, he would tell me all the time he had a desire to do more with the franchise, but he was putting it off because of the time he had committed to his job. So when he lost his job, he wasn't that worried because he had planned ahead, and this now gave him the time and the availability to start focusing more on the franchise. My second friend, well, unfortunately, he's like most Americans. He had 100% of his income coming from his job. In this case, his wife stayed home. He lived in a nice house, a nice car, lots of bills to pay, and when he lost his job, he was immediately on the defensive, looking for the next thing quickly because he only had a few months of living expenses and savings. This is not the situation you want to be in. This is why people hate their jobs. This is when people take the first thing they get offered because they need a way to pay their bills. I think it's safe to say we would all rather be my friend who had other revenue coming in from his side business than the one that was completely dependent on his job. And those different scenarios inspired me to do this video. We talk a lot here at Sidekick about living life on your terms. And a part of that means never having to worry about your job again. But if you want to live life on your own terms while keeping your job, then I'd suggest you try to be like friend number 1 and have some source of revenue coming in with a franchise you don't have to run yourself. This is how I've done it. Here are my 4 keys on how to plan ahead and own a franchise while keeping your job. Number 1, keep a short list of trusted people who could either be your manager or your operating partner of a franchise. A manager is an employee who can run the business. A partner is your business partner on the actual franchise agreement. There are a few things you want to look for when determining who these people can be. Number 1, most important, trust. Number 2, skill set. Does this person have the skill set to make the business successful? Number 3, can you build a mutual beneficial financial incentive? As a Sidekick tip, if you're going to go with a partner over a manager, I strongly suggest that partner have some type of skin in the game. I've learned from experience, if they don't have skin in the game, they usually don't treat it like their own business. As you are leading up to owning a franchise, keep a list of these people and have regular conversations with them about the idea of buying a franchise. You can ask Tyler. I called him for years before he finally agreed to co-found Sidekick with me because I knew he was the right person. So I'd like to share some stories of my own in franchise ownership and how I've done it both with a manager and a partner. My first franchise, Anytime Fitness, I unexpectedly went back to my old job. So I was put into the situation where I needed to find a manager of the business. I called somebody I had previously worked with. I trusted him. He had the skill set. He came in and we built a financial model that allowed him to do profit sharing. We ultimately grew that to 4 Anytime Fitnesses, and it was a very beneficial relationship for both him and I. Another franchise that I owned, Orange Theory, I did this with a partner, again, a trusted person I had previously worked with. But the difference in this case was he had his own money into the relationship. He had a significant amount in there. He treated it like his own business because it was. He runs everything day to day. Orange Theory is a fantastic franchise for me to own because my partner has taken on the responsibility of the day to day. It makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I have to put in very little effort. When you can find the right people in your life combined with the right brand, it can be a really dynamic situation. So hopefully my examples show you that the most important thing in owning a franchise while keeping your job is that trusted person you have acting as your manager or your partner. Okay, number 2, when you are looking for a franchise outside of your job, look for low monthly fixed expenses. Know that sales-related compensation is not what I'm talking about. If you pay commission on sales, you want that number to go up as high as possible. What I'm talking about are the expenses you have whether you have sales or not. Try to find a franchise opportunity where these expenses are low so it doesn't put too much stress on the money you make from your job, because you may have to use your salary to cover franchise expenses early on, but of course you want to have your business cash flowing as soon as possible. When looking for a franchise with minimal fixed costs, look for things like franchises where you can work from home. For example, home services, painting, cleaning, property inspection, vacation planning, mosquito repellent, food truck, event management, things like that. Next in keeping expenses low is minimum inventory and equipment. Franchises that have minimum inventory and equipment would be tutoring, coaching, expense reduction, payroll and accounting services, photography. Sales service franchises are typically very low cost as well. These might be things like helping people sell their homes, print and promotional products, mortgage origination franchises, senior placement services, etc. Number 3, in finding a franchise you can own while keeping your job, is find a franchise that offers non-traditional hours. If you can find a franchise where business is done in the evening or the weekends, this will allow you to be a part of the business when you're not working your day job. That will then help you personally understand the business better and step in if you want to step away from your job. Franchises with non-traditional hours would be things like interior design, game trucks, clothes bins, children learning franchises like dance, math, sports, fitness, etc. These are typically done in the evenings. And last, number 4, I think you should try to find an emerging brand with plenty of territory for you to grow into. So let's hope if you ever leave your job, it's on your terms. And when that day comes, if you've already got a relationship with a franchisor, you'll be ready to take on more territories. But you have to be working with a franchise that has more territories available. Many times emerging franchise brands will offer more available territories than established franchise brands. Or if you decide that you want to be adventurous all the way from the beginning, you can buy multiple territories up front. Then you can time leaving your job with when you want to open location 2, 3, 4, etc. By planning ahead and opening a franchise while keeping your job with a trusted person, you will be ready at any moment to put more time into the franchise and grow it. So if that day ever comes where your boss walks in and says you're fired, or you tell him you're leaving, you can say thank you because now I get to go run with my own business.